This guy created, this guy, this show, every shot you saw there came through this gentleman's mind, through his eyes, through his sensibility, through his generosity. You know, he's put together an incredible team. He's an incredibly gifted artist. But the message of kindness comes from his heart, and also the creation of a female doctor comes really from the creation of a female master. Played so beautifully by Michelle, who has delivered a multi-layered, hilarious, sinister, and fabulous performance, for which I'm deeply grateful. So Jodie, the idea of a Time Lord being both male and female came from Stephen. So thanks to him. Pearl has been an absolutely magnificent new contribution to the show. She has stepped into this juggernaut that we have, and brought us a real living character in Bill Potts, who has her feet on the ground and her heart in the stars. Which is where we all want to be, right? Matt has come along and delivered a fabulous creation, a whole brand new thing, an alien being who is a sidekick, who's a little bit scary, a little bit funny, and a huge contribution to the show, and who's come into it with a generosity of spirit and kindness, because this is a man who is immensely famous, immensely talented, and he stepped up to the plate in our show. With humility and grace, and made season 10 one of the most special seasons ever. Mark, what can I say about Mark? He's a great, great friend, a great lover and supporter of Doctor Who. I know that sounds a bit odd, that Doctor Who needs lovers and supporters. But the show hasn't always enjoyed the success that it enjoys at the moment. It's not always been the most popular show to hang your coat on. Mark has always been there for the show. He's written some of the most fabulous episodes, and I'm so thrilled that he's finally been able to appear in the show and that I was able to act with him. So thank you very much. Oh, God. I just did a big speech, though. I didn't really expect to do that. No, I won an award, yes. Thank you for this San Diego...
It's the Smart Water Award.
Smart Water. And you're sensational, too.
Oh, stop it. Come on.
You're all right. Thank you.
Hey, come on.
Thank you.
Oh, I burned the battery out. Oh, of course I did. When you first started, was this experience anything like you had predicted? I know that you were a fan of the show. You know, we've talked about that many times before. But when you were describing the 12th Doctor as a fan, how would you describe him?
As a fan?
Yeah, as a fan.
I love him. He's my favorite Doctor. He's certainly the most handsome, in my eyes. And he's got the biggest hair.
Yes.
His hair had the biggest arc. It started from being really small and got bigger and bigger and bigger. I think he's an alien. That's what my sort of ambition with him was, to make him not a human being, but whatever strange and mysterious creature the Doctor is. I don't know what kind of creature he is. He has a human sensibility about him, and we perceive him as a human, but I don't believe that's what he is. I think he's stranger and darker and cleverer. So I wanted to invest him with a sense of that. And also fun and clownishness and silliness and wittiness and all the rest of it. Stephen supplies all that, thankfully.
So when you were a child and you were watching Doctor Who and you probably thought, oh, it'd be really amazing to be the Doctor. Wow, what an amazing opportunity. What was something that you discovered having done this for the last few years? You're like, oh, I never knew it would be like this. Like, what's one thing, what's a piece of advice that you would give, practical advice for playing the Doctor to anyone who might do so?
Get a lot of sleep. Because you're going to be up early every day. And be there all the time and learn all your lines. And I never grew up thinking what it would be like to play the Doctor. I just thought the Doctor was the most amazing character that I could see. So I didn't, despite the publicity department's efforts to make everyone believe this, and that they were successful, I didn't spend my whole life grieving about the fact that I wasn't playing Doctor Who. I was just getting on with my life as an actor, but I loved the show and the character deeply. So it was a great thrill and surprise to find myself in it.
And you even just said, this is something that I wanted to ask Stephen about, because there was a really nice nugget, specifically I feel like aimed at the fans in season 10, where they actually have the debate of, is he the Doctor or is he called Doctor Who? Oh. And a lot of people, if they go, who's going to play Doctor Who? People go, it's the Doctor, that's not his name. But other people don't agree with that assessment. So do you have a final word on this either way, or do you think it's just...
I defer to Mr. Chibnall, obviously. But if you take continuity seriously, and be honest, you all do, there isn't any doubt about this. I'm sorry. It was established in the War Machines that his name is Doctor Who.
All right, there it is.
He was called Doctor Who.
I get letters to Doctor Who.
And when people call out to you in the street, they don't say, hello, the Doctor. They say Doctor Who. He doesn't often call himself Doctor Who because it's a bloody stupid name. But that must be, I mean, he signs himself Dr. W. The third Doctor had a car with Who on the license plate. He is not a master of subtlety. He thought, in order to be mysterious, I'll call myself Doctor Who. However, if you prefer to believe that he calls himself the Doctor and that's just the name of the show, that's also equally true. Because what would Doctor Who continuity be without blatant and unresolvable contradictions?
But nobody's first name is actually Doctor.
Doctor Who?
No.
Yes, it is.
No, he is a doctor. Maybe his first name, we just don't know. Maybe it's Hillary or Michael. Could be.
Yeah. Hi, Michael Who? It's Doctor. Oh, all right. Let's take some audience questions because I want to have a little extra time because I know that this is very important for all of you. So what is your name and question?
Hi, I'm Jonah. I'm sorry, I was very taken with this whole panel, actually. Yeah, and first of all, I just wanted to thank you, Peter and Stephen, for just donating so much of your time and energy to this show and making some unforgettable episodes and some unforgettable years. And
Thank you.
And what I was wondering is, every Doctor kind of has that iconic moment that when you think of that Doctor, you think of that moment. So, Peter, what do you think is your iconic moment?
Good.
By the way, you don't need to be nervous. That was an amazing question. That was an amazing question that I think everyone wanted to know.
I think my iconic moment was decided for me, which is the best iconic moments always are, and it was this one.
Yeah.
Which is when my eyes appeared and my eyebrows appeared in the 50th anniversary special, and that sort of, I guess, sort of said what my Doctor was going to be, and you know, a middle-aged Scotsman with hairy eyebrows, of which there are many.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your question. Hey, how's it going? Hey, what's going on?
Oh, not much. Comic-Con.
We work together.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, too.
What's up, Eve? Okay, so what is your question?
First, I just want to say, hi, Pearl. You're amazing. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you.
Hi. My question's actually for those who have written episodes. I was wondering, when you're writing, what do you think the most important element of the Doctor's character is to not leave out when you're writing him? Or her.
Mark, I'm going to start with Mark.
We're in pronoun hell from now on, let's be honest. Let's repeal gendered pronouns because we're going to be unable to talk. Oh, Mark, you got anything?
What, not to leave out? Well, I mean, the thing, it's an old cliche, really, but the Doctor is always the Doctor. I think that's what happens, no matter who's playing it. You have a sort of default version. I was just saying to Stephen the other day, you know, if you're trying to come up with a different character in a different sort of show, I sort of think, oh, I know exactly what the Doctor would do here. And it's because there's a huge amount of legacy to draw on, you know. But I think overall, it's a kind of attitude towards the universe, isn't it? It's a sort of basic kindness, and but a very, very crooked path to get there. And I think not necessarily by choice, but it's just the most interesting way to get there is to go slightly off-piste all the time. So it's a sort of beautiful eccentricity, I would say.
I think also he's not a professional full-time hero. That's not what he's doing. He's racing around the universe to witness it, to see it, to experience it. What he can't bear, though, is people suffering. He's motivated entirely, irresistibly by kindness. He is the passerby who becomes the last man standing in every situation of terror that he passes. So he's not trying to be that. He just can't help himself from being that. And that's the best story you can tell. The man who fights monsters and yet never becomes one.
And also, I think, you know, it might be, maybe it is purely an accident of why the show is called this, but Doctor is the best possible name for him, her.
Excellent. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Hey, Button Lady.
Hey, Chris.
How's it going?
Congratulations on getting married. And that's a fantastic sweater.
Oh, yeah, I just want to give a shout out to the lady who made this. Her name is Bridget. She has a website called Draw4 Designs. She knitted this by hand, and I hope she enjoys that I wore it at Comic-Con. Anyway, there it is.
The 3 cast members that have been on stage, that have been on the camera, I'm over here crying because I'm going to miss you so badly. You've been fantastic, especially this last season. Thank you so much for every emotion that you've put me through. So thank you for that. My question's for Stephen. No, I want to talk to all of you, but there's other people who want to ask questions. But my question's for Stephen.
You also have to be careful not to cry, because you can't dab your face on anything like, ow, 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 ow.
In the first episode this season, in the pilot, the Doctor says the stars are made of lemon drops. Is that a reference to Dr. Dolittle?
He says the sky's made of lemon drops. Listen, you've really got to start paying more attention. This is basic science. Stars made of lemon drops? That would make no sense. The sky is made of lemon drops. It's physics. Physics. Look it up. The moon's an egg. It wasn't actually. I think it's isn't it in the song "Somewhere Over the Raindrop"? Rain thing in sky. That is colors.
It's actually in the,
yeah, that one.
it's actually in the song that Anthony Newley sings called "My Friend the Doctor," and he says the stars are made of lemon drops. Oh, yeah. And I thought maybe
I
you were
didn't know that.
referencing.
I instinctively rip off stuff even when I'm not trying to.
Thank you, Button Lady. Nice to see you this year. Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
Illyria.
And what is your question?
My question is, what is all of your favorite doctors and companions?
Favorite
doctors and companions.
Well, I can now reveal it because I'm leaving, so it's no longer contentious. My favorite doctor, unequivocally, is Doctor Who.
Oh, that's the best answer.
Other doctors hang around hospitals and cure colds. They're just rubbish. Have you seen them? No alien robots, no time machines. They are not worthy of the name Doctor. But Doctor Who is awesome.
I think that's the best answer for that. Hey, what is your name?
Hi, my name is Joy, and you guys were all great this season. My question is, were there any improvised moments this season?
Any improvised moments this season? I was mesmerized by the gentleman stroking his beard in the background. Just malevolently stroking his beard in a, looks like a Slytherin, typical Slytherin. Yeah.
The master's done it again.
Any improvised moments, I think was your question. Any improvised moments?
Well, Peter and Pearl are both looking at me. I kept putting things in, and I'm sorry about that. There's a few. I said some of my best friends are bluish. That was one of mine. There are a few. There are a few. Yeah. Well, we all. Yeah. I mean. Yeah. We probably all. But we all put stuff in, didn't we? But I was the naughtiest.
Not as much as you.
No. I improvised too much, to be honest. Yeah.
And then there's the edit. That's not fair. Actually, my favorite addition that you put in, Matt, wasn't actually a funny line. It was just after the doctor had said his lemon drops line, you said, "Oh, you're very silly sometimes."
Yeah.
And I loved that line.
Well, I thought you can be very silly sometimes, you know, because I suppose it was because people were always saying. People at that point were saying how silly Nardole was, so I thought it was nice for him, clearly the silliest man in the show, to tell off the most serious man in the show for being silly. Yeah. Well, thank you for letting me ruin the show with all my.
Click to the left for the Doctor Who panel part 1, or click to the right for part 3.